Guys, this is Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're talking about the updated depth chart for the Washington Wizards after trading for CJ McCollum and also trading for Kelly Olynyk. As this trade happened earlier in the afternoon, reported by Shams Charania, as McCollum and Olynyk are headed to the Wizards with a future second. Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey are headed with the 40th overall pick to the Pels. So let's go over what this depth chart looks like. It's the starting lineup for Washington now is a mix of veterans and young players, and I love that because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of two teams that you've seen emerge from bottom of the league to, I wouldn't say top of the league. Well, maybe that's where the Rockets are headed now after the Kevin Durant trade. But as a Rockets fan, I've experienced this where the team goes 22-60, and then there's an offseason where you replace your bad head coach. That's something Wizards didn't do. But you replace your head coach and bring in Ime Udoka, and you've got all these young guys already on the team, but they don't fully know how to win ball games yet. So you add in a mix of experienced veterans like Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and Jeff Green with Jock Landale, Aaron Holiday, and just a lot of experienced veterans. And the team goes from 22 wins to 41. Then 41 to 54, 55, whatever it was this year, being the second seed in the Western Conference. And then you look at I look at the Detroit Pistons as well. Another young team, bottom of the league. I mean, they had under 20 wins this past season, not this year, but the 2023-24 season. And they were a young team that had a lot of talented young guys. But again, just like the Rockets, they didn't know how to win ball games yet. And they last offseason added in a bunch of veterans. They signed Tobias Harris. They trade for Tim Hardaway Jr. They signed Malik Beasley. They trade for Dennis Schroeder at the end of the trade deadline last year. At the trade deadline, they bring in Paul Reed. They brought in a lot of veterans for their team to help improve their team. Where did they go this year? They tripled their win total. So the only time it's ever been done in NBA history. And not only triple their win total, but into the playoffs after being the 15th seed, went from the 15th seed to the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. And so I'm not saying that's going to happen with the Wizards this year. I think the East is going to be a lot worse next year with teams losing their players in these playoffs to torn Achilles like Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum. But I think adding in veterans next to young guys will definitely help the younger guys learn to win basketball games. And you've got young guys like Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Sarr, Bub Carrington, Corey Kispert, Keyshawn George, A.J. Johnson. This is a young group. And that young group is going to get younger tomorrow night when the Wizards have the 6th overall pick in the draft. And I want to say the Wizards have one more pick in the draft. I think that's their lone first round pick, I believe. And they were going to have 2 draft picks. But they gave up the 40, but who cares about that? They're going to add in another top 10 pick tomorrow night. So that young group gets even younger tomorrow with the 6th overall pick. And so with a young group, I think it's great to have veterans around that group. And by the way, I'm wrong. The Wizards have pick 18. I don't know how I didn't remember that. But so yeah, you have two more first round picks being added on to that. So you've got 2 more rookies that will be added on to all the other young guys that this Wizards team already has. So you've got 18 and 6. They're going to most likely add in 2 more guys tomorrow unless the Wizards trade up. And so with that being said, with already having young guys on the group, on the team, this is a mix of, young and old. And so you've got CJ McCollum at starting point guard. You've got Marcus Smart at shooting guard. You got Chris Middleton at small forward. Bilal Coulibaly at power forward. That's the young guy. And then the center is Alex Sarr. Off the bench, you've got Bub Carrington, Corey Kispert, Justin Champagnie, Keyshawn George, Kelly Olynyk, Rashawn Holmes, A.J. Johnson, a very solid, underrated young player. So, and then there will be 2 more players added to that list tomorrow at least, unless, maybe Washington makes other moves tomorrow, who knows. But there will be definitely two names added to that list when Washington will have pick 6 and pick 18. So, I think for Washington tomorrow, you see that, you see that list will grow larger of young players, and you have to feel better about adding in two more veterans than CJ McCollum and Kelly Olynyk. Rashawn Holmes is another veteran guy who's been on the roster. Next season will be Marcus Smart's and Chris Middleton's first full seasons in Washington. So I think it has worked for the Pistons and the Rockets. Mixing veterans who can play good ball with young studs who play well, and it's worked for the Rockets, and it's worked for the Rockets and the Pistons. Why don't the Wizards try it? And look, with if the veterans can stay healthy, the Wizards might be improved next year. McCollum, Middleton, Smart, Olynyk stay healthy. They draft right at 6 and 18. Very well, Washington could stay competitive in the East. Maybe instead of being the 15th seed in the East, they might be able to be 13 to 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.